Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Dip Dipianco. Watch the game live and our past episodes on demand on the Pilipinas Live app for just 149 pesos a month. Available for download on Google Play or the App Store.
It's Monday, so buckle up, sports fans, and let's get in the game. The UAAP is in full swing as all teams have made their debut during the opening weekend. And as early as it is, all teams brought out their A game and impressed a lot of fans, regardless of the outcome. With us to tell us what caught their eye in the season opener, our friends, UAAP analysts, Tyler, Tio, and Sean Manganti. Speaking of debuts, Dip, debuting on fan stream for the UAAP, debuting for our TV broadcast. I have to ask, before we get to them, kayo muna. How was the experience, Tyler? Be nice. I was your partner.
It was amazing. It was super fun. Obviously, I had the rookie jitters as well.
Did you really?
Kind of felt like a first UAP game as a player.
Wow.
But definitely a super fun experience, and I'm glad that you were the anchor with me. Definitely made it a lot easier.
Thank you very much, Sean. Fan stream. That should have been really good.
Oh man, it was so fun. And Dip and Coach Willie Wilson, they were with me and they made it just a pleasure.
Right.
Great time.
Oh, we had a great time. We had a great time yesterday.
There'll be more. There'll be more. We're looking forward to more.
Yes, more
Yes.
topics, more stories to talk about throughout the season. But first, let's discuss the opening weekend, guys. First game, season opener. UE Red Warriors, the hosts, winning against the
What
UST Growling Tigers. I wanted to ask Tyler, did this surprise you at all, knowing that Ray Remogat was the topic that was, of course, played so well in the last two games of season 85? Coming into season 86, did you expect this performance from him?
I actually did. I came on the game,
Right.
I think a week before that, and
Yeah.
I said he was one of my potential breakout stars, and he proved me right. I think he dropped 21 points, 10 assists, 3 steals. So he just showed that he's poised to be that next great point guard in the line of a lot of great UE point guards. So I'm really excited what else he does the rest of the season.
Yeah, if that's a sign of things to come, it should be exciting for UE with a win too, which was important for them. UST with the debut of Coach Pito Harencio, that's always a story. But you wanted to talk about Nick Cabanero. Is he still the man, Sean?
Look, he's definitely the go-to guy. He's the man for USC. I think the other guys, I think Coach Pito is still looking for that second and third guy to really step up because Nick is the guy, right? And everyone knows that. So he also has a target on his back. So teams are really, they have schemes for him. They're going to really attack him on defense. So guys like, I want to say like Manalong, who's a savvy vet, and I've seen him play. I've seen him work out up close. He has so much game. And I think he was 23 minutes, and he shot 3 shots, and he had 2 points. And
So you want
I think
more
he's-
from him?
I think he's so much better than that. He needs to be more involved in the offense, really.
That was a fun game, though.
Yeah.
That was fun. You did that game
I covered it with Isaac.
right?
It was a
That's
good game, a game of runs.
Yeah.
But UST, they have a chance to get on the winning column this coming Wednesday
Right.
for the next game day. Let's
Right.
move forward to the second game, that opening day. Tyler, I'm not sure. I was going to ask him also, did you expect this from Ateneo, of course, having played for the Blue Eagles? They lost to NU 77-64, but the Bulldogs, sabi nga ni Coach Jeff Napa,
On this show.
yung plano
On
nila
this show.
gawin this season is mangain.
He wanted
right?
to eat. They wanted to eat their opponents.
And I feel like they feasted in that game. Your thoughts about that game against the Blue Eagles?
Actually, you're right. They feasted, and NU, no pun intended, they got dogs on their team. So
They do.
They got guys that are really hungry.
Yeah.
They press full court the whole game, and I'm really impressed, most especially by the point guards. So they did it by committee. It's not like with UE, Ray Remogat, took most of the shine.
Right,
with
right.
NU, it was 3 guys that really, the whole game, they were all over the Ateneo guards, and it proved to be, difficult for Ateneo because they're young point guards. So rookie point guards, it's expected that they have, rookie jitters. And, Coach Tab said it after the game. They're rookies and they played right. They played like rookies.
Right.
And I'm excited for both teams moving forward as
Of course,
well.
the point guards that Tyler's talking about, the triumvirate
Yeah.
of Nash Enriquez and of course Kian Baclan, and then the rookie who will inherit all of this from NU. Mamoy was also there. But Sean, what else and who else impressed you from that National U win? I think it was a statement game for them because there was not much talk about it in the offseason, right? Then all of a sudden, here they are with a win against the defending champions.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off what Tyler said. I think Coach Jeff has done such an amazing job of watering these kids, and we're just seeing their growth right up live, and we're seeing Steve Nash Enriquez. Not only does he have the best hair in the league.
Oh no, yeah. There's nobody even close.
He's a highlight, man. He's an instant highlight, shooting threes, five steps behind the arc. You know,
He's pesky on defense.
He's pesky. He's taking Kai Balunga one-on-one from the top of the key and taking one-on-one, man. He had the loudest 10 points I've ever seen in my life.
And then Patrick Yu, of course, and Jolo Manansala.
Patrick Yu with 12 points, shooting 75% from three, shooting 3 out of 4. Everyone needs that, and like Manansala,
the pogo stick.
He's so creative. He can put the ball down. He can create for himself and his teammates. They're all just looking really good.
And he can guard all 5 positions too.
Manansala, right? And also Malonzo, you can put him
those
there.
two guys.
Exactly. And the Patrick Yu played like a vet. Like he was like steadying everybody there in that.
Balanced scoring for the entire
right?
NU Bulldogs, which got them the win against Ateneo. Let's move forward to the third game over the weekend. You guys covered this, LaSalle versus FEU. Coach Topex Robinson and his team controlled that game for the most part. Tyler, your thoughts on his debut as head coach for LaSalle?
I think it was a perfect debut. You could really see, his imprint on this LaSalle team, and we talked about it during the game. You can see the defensive intensity that LaSalle started with, and they played the whole game full court press, and that's
Start to finish, right?
Start to finish, whole court press. So that's something that we've experienced from
I
Coach
expect
Topex.
nothing less from Coach Toe.
And yeah, I was really impressed with Evan Nelly and Kevin Kiambao. With Evan Nelly, I feel like he just controlled the entire game. And this is someone that, I played with since grade school, maybe like grade 4. And I'm really, really happy with the way he's, evolved his game, the way he's grown. So I expect a lot of things from him.
And then KQ finishing it off. He actually had a hard time picking who the best player was.
Right. And I got a lot of flack from my teammates a while ago. They're like, how come it was KQ? I have to explain what I'm about to say now. KQ, I feel like, even though he was struggling from the field, he contributed in so many ways. He had 14 rebounds. He had those crucial assists towards the end of the game. And he had that crucial bucket also when FEU was mounting that comeback.
The three-point play, you're right. That's a good point.
But for FEU, of course, some bright spots as well. They were trying to make that run towards the end, somewhat like USC was trying to do against UE. But one of the guys that led that way was Cyrus Torres. Sean, do you think he can be the go-to guy moving forward for FEU throughout the season?
That's what I'm seeing. I mean, we could talk about LaSalle all day. They had so many highlights, so many good players, so many good plays, right? But with Cyrus, although they lost, he showed that he could be that next King Tamorel, right? 19 points. He led them with a run late in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't enough. But if he could sustain this consistently, and his shooting, his size, man, the sky's the limit for him.
Mr. Deadshot, as I call him. Of course, one game. It's one game.
Exactly.
So we cannot get overly excited. But it was an exciting first game. For maybe not for you, Sean. UP against Adamson University. What gave UP this win, Tyler, in your opinion?
Combination of a lot of things.
Okay.
Number one, Malik Diouf. He was just dominant. But aside from him, you could just see the talent from top to bottom. UP has so many weapons, man. These guys are, I would say, pro-ready as well. They got CJ Cancino, Harold Alarcon, so many guys. And most of their top guys actually came off the bench. So that just shows how deep they are. They can start with, their starters are interchangeable with their bench players. So, I don't know how to compete with that.
How about CJ Cancino's first game back coming off that injury, Sean? We talked about him during the fan stream. Felt like he was right there. He was so prepared coming in for the UP Fighting Maroons.
Yeah, I'm sure it was such a big moment for him because he's been injured, he's been out, and that's just the worst. You're out, you're sidelined, you're watching your brothers, and you can't help. Today, last night, I think he showed exactly that. His energy was through the roof.
Yeah.
And I love the crowd talk. He was talking to the crowd after every bucket, which I love. It was a little bit much, but I love that.
Hey, he missed it.
He's like that too.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why
Exactly.
I personally love that. That gets the crowd going, that gets your team going, and they were just, it was great.
Hey, he's making up for lost time. You
Exactly.
know what? The UP players and fans are probably happy that he was on the fan stream and
Right.
not on the court,
Right.
breaking hearts of the UP Fighting Maroons. All right, guys, thank you very much, but don't go anywhere. We'll have you a little later on.
Right, after the break, more on the Philippines' first Asian Games gold from EJ Obiena. Stay tuned, you're watching The Game. Welcome back to The Game. We just witnessed history at the 2023 Asian Games as EJ Obiena soared to victory, claiming the Philippines' first gold in the men's pole vault finals. Let's hear from record breaker pole vaulter on his thoughts coming to the competition and what he's looking forward to in his career.
Going in, I felt a little bit of pressure, and I think for the first time in my career, I felt like a villain stepping in this stadium. I felt like, it's not my medal, and I feel like I'm robbing it from someone. So going in, I felt like a little bit like a villain, but at the same time, I'm a Filipino. We're here to win. Country needs it, and I've definitely won it. So happy to be turning it off for a moment, enjoying the year. It has been a very amazing year for me. I'm very proud of it. Very thankful with my team. We're able to manage and get me ready almost in every major competition. Happy. I think for the first time it's mine because I felt like it wasn't mine to start. And this is for me. I think I powered through it mentally, so happy with it. Thank you very much for everyone who watched, and finally we got our first gold. So it's a big responsibility, but we pulled it up. As I said, pressure's privilege.
Easy money, Dip. Easy money. All right, speaking of the Asian Games, Filipino athletes continue to shine as more stories unfold. Yumir Marshall delivered an absolute knockout punch to Thailand's bet in the second round. Marshall is now secured of a well-deserved bronze medal finish. Meanwhile, Gilas Pilipinas takes the court in a do-or-die battle against Qatar in the Asian Games men's basketball competition. And Hangzhou, China, fresh from a challenging 23-point loss to Jordan that kept them from an outright quarterfinal berth. Gilas is on a mission to stay on course for the Philippines' first Asian Games medal in 25 years. That game should be done, all right, by now, right? Because when we started the show, it was around 6 minutes to go, and we were up by 40. We're up by 40. Also, speaking of medals, the Philippines right now, the count is 1-1-7 for a total of 9. China still leads everybody else right now with 76 golds. Japan is right behind them at 43, and Korea with 39. That's the official count as of 5 p.m. Now, after the break, we'll reel it back to the UAAP as we take another peek into the opening weekend action. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back. You're still watching The Game. Now, the hype surrounding the start of the UAAP was intense during the preseason. But somehow, some players and stories fell through the cracks and revealed themselves on opening weekend. And still with us to take a look at surprising performances that can build on all throughout season 86, our friends UAAP analysts Sean Manganti and Tyler Tio did not move. No, actually, they did. They took a break. They're back here. Now, this is what we love. We love those other stories. We love the game. We love breaking down the games, but we also love the other stuff that maybe we missed out. All of us, we missed out on. Sean, I start with you. What's on top of your head?
Yeah, I mean, all of the airtime has been on Jerome, as it should be.
Lastimosa, you mean?
Don't get me wrong, Jerome Lastimosa,
right.
as it should be, right? But I want to talk about Matthew Montebon.
Okay.
In the absence of Jerome, I think that Matthew Montebon has the tools to really carry Adamson during Jerome's absence. He has the tools. He can shoot, he can create, he can put the ball down, he can create for others. And, you know, he showed highlights. He had 13 points.
He did.
And I think if he does that consistently at a more higher level and better efficiency, I think he can really do that.
3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Did you see that already prior to the game? Were you kind of looking out for him, or were you also like some of us who were surprised to see that?
No, I've seen him up close before in
All right.
private. I've seen how he can really shoot the ball. He can really shoot the ball, man. And if he could just shoot it at a higher clip and higher efficiency, he could be really good.
We were watching him very closely in the fan stream yesterday. And we're hoping that he gets to improve his game all throughout the season. For Adamson, lipat tayo kay Tyler. To a guy that, honestly, I wasn't familiar with before I covered him last Saturday. Precious Momaway, but Tyler, you've seen him before.
He's very familiar. That's the good thing.
I believe you've trained with him before. What do you think about his performance on his debut for the Red Warriors?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised, but I'm sure everyone else was surprised. He was out there playing like Giannis, like the Greek freak. I mean, he was going coast to coast, blocking shots. I mean, I feel like this is something that I saw because, as you mentioned, he trained with us over at Ateneo for about, I want to say, from 2019 to 2022 before he moved to UE. So this guy is really talented. He's tall, he's lanky, he's athletic. So I'm excited to see him go up against the likes of Malik Diouf.
Yeah.
This is the reason why they're paid the big bucks and we get to ask the
Right,
questions. No, but in all seriousness with him, with Precious, with what you saw, And now that everybody has seen him and everybody's talking about him, and I'm sure the players are, the coaches are, what do you think we should look out for now? Now that he's not going to surprise anyone, because that's different when people are prepping and game planning for you.
Right. I think with Precious, the good thing about him is he's always willing to learn. He's always been the sponge type of player. So whatever the future defenses may throw at him, I'm sure his coaches will have adjustments. And I'm sure
Counters.
they'll have counters. And for sure, I mean, you can't teach height. He's always going to be
right,
6'10". He's always going to be long. He's always going to be athletic. So he's going to have that advantage over everyone.
Watching some highlights from yesterday's, or actually first day's track meet between
Yeah,
UE and
just,
UST.
just one game for UE, but Precious Momoy already with those highlights. Coast to
Look at
coast, that dunk
Look at that.
got us hyped last Saturday. All right, lipat tayo ulit kay Sean. I think this is the reason why Sean was questioning Tyler's pick for the player of the game for LaSalle, because for you, Mike Phillips is the X factor for the Green Archers.
He's by far the X factor for DLSU for me. Because we already know what Nelly's going to give you. We know KQ. They have their leadership roles. We know what they're going to give us.
Yeah.
With Michael Phillips Naman, you know, if he could score double digits on top of what he already does, that's rebounding, defending, going 50-50 balls, blocking shots. And if he could score in double digits, that could make it so hard for everyone.
Sean,
He shoots
he
threes
shot
now.
3 triples at the start of the game. Did that shock you?
It did, but I'm all for it.
No,
I
a
love
good
growth.
kind of shock. Right,
I
right,
love
right.
growth in players, and I'm all for it.
Okay, I just wanna twist this whole thing about yesterday. If you were the one to choose the best player, who would have you? I just wanna twist a little bit. Who would you have chosen and why? Come on, let's hear it.
I mean, they wouldn't have won without Michael Phillips, man.
So it was
So
Mike
that's
Phillips.
three
Phillips.
choices there.
I love it.
Both of them scored 14 points,
yeah, I love
so both of you guys make a good case of who
Who
would
was
have been
more
the-
impactful?
not done.
Who was more
I love
impactful?
it.
Not done. He's not done. What can you say about it?
Well, so what's your counter
That's
to that,
exactly.
Tyler?
Go ahead.
I mean, who was feeding the lobs to Michael Phillips?
Who was finishing the lobs?
Yeah, but who was feeding them?
You know, I think the solution to this, next time we can have 2 players of the game, right? Co-player of the game, pwede ba yun?
No, I like this.
Can we have
I like one, and I like them arguing about it.
All right. Let's go now to another story from Tyler for the NU Bulldogs. You know, people were counting them as a dark horse, right? They were right there, Final Four last season, 85. But this time, season 86, people are saying they're legitimate contenders. They did that against the defending champions, Tyler.
Yeah, I think it's time. It's time that everyone gives them their due respect. They've always been called the dark horse.
Yeah.
So now I think they're one of the favorites. It's time they have that respect because, like you mentioned, they beat the defending champs, you know, easily.
Right.
Easily. And I think
You
the
think
last
that was
time-
easy? Yeah. Because it
looked-
did. Yeah. I mean, I know you say that because we're not used to seeing Ateneo get
Right.
obviously beat down by 20 at some point. So is that why you think it was easy for them?
I think so because, like you mentioned, Ateneo is known to be the dominant one, and you know, and you just showed that it's, and you just showed that.
He's
was a
distracted.
There was a pause moment
No
there
worries.
that-
He's distracted, ladies and gentlemen, because
see
Sean
Sean
Manganti
laughing.
is shaking
I
his
can
head.
see Sean laughing.
Okay.
My bad.
No,
my
it's
bad.
okay. You finish your thought, and I want to get your thought on this one. Tyler, go ahead.
Yeah. So and you showed that they could beat teams like that handedly. So
Right.
I think it's time we give them the respect.
Okay,
That's
Sean,
it.
why are you shaking your head?
You know, I just, you know, it's kind of biased with him saying, you know, Ateneo's been so dominant, which is true, right? But I'm not up here saying Adam's saying we're always in the Final Four, we're always winning, top seed, but you know, it's okay, that's fine.
Hey, but you know, just to counter also, NU last year beat UP.
Yeah.
They beat LaSalle. They beat Ateneo. So for people to be surprised about what they are about to do maybe here in season 86, I think we have to remember that they only lost one major player in John Lloyd.
Exactly. I was
Clemente,
about
right?
to say they kept their core. John Lloyd Clemente got drafted already to the pros, but their main core is still there for Coach Jeff Napa. And Sean, I wanted to ask you about the chemistry because you were able to do this back in your days with Adamson. You were keeping your core, and you guys made it also to the higher stage. So how important was that for NU in helping them get that win?
I think it all stems from Coach Jeff. I think the culture that he's implemented, all of that, he has really, it starts from the top, so it goes down to the bottom. The players are believing in the system, believing in the coach, and yeah, it starts with Coach Jeff.
Is there any other team that you think, last year Adamson was the surprise, right? Is there any other team that you're seeing that can do something like that? Nobody's giving a chance, or not naman nobody's giving a chance, but a lower chance of getting into the Final Four, and then all of a sudden. Is there any team in your mind?
Well, you guys are going to say I'm biased, but now it's Ateneo for me because obviously they lost
For a
their first game.
change.
For a change, yeah. They're the underdogs now. They're a young team. They have a lot of rookie guards, which is tough in the UAP because it's a full-court press-oriented kind of league. So it's going to be an adjustment for sure, but once they find that adjustment, once they trust in Tab, I think Ateneo is going to be that dark horse.
And I think that's the point there. He's the most veteran of them all, so I guess as long as you have Tab Baldwin, you give yourselves a chance in a fight.
Yep.
All right.
We look forward to hearing more of your
Arguments. We want more
Arguments,
arguments
yes.
and debates.
your thoughts. We gotta get these guys on fan stream together
Yes,
so that we
definitely.
can.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
That would be
share
nice.
your thoughts with us.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Sean Manganti, Tyler, Tio, and once again, welcome to the broadcast team. Thank you for joining us here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
And thank you for joining us. I'm Dip Dipianco.
And don't forget to catch us weeknights here on One News and on the Pilipinas Live app, where you can watch us live and our past episodes, of course, on demand for just 149 pesos a month. Available for download on Google Play or the App Store. I'm Boom Gonzalez, and this has been The Game.